Well, hello there and happy Monday. I am here with you as we continue our year of self-care. I am picking up our little deck of cards and look how there are so many left. Oh my goodness, it's hard to believe. We are just trucking right along. We have covered a lot of territory in this series. Last week, I was here with you talking about rejuvenation, bringing back to life things that may seem long gone, dead, creating energy and vitality. And I hope you really went out there and started to think about what it is that you want to bring a little more life to. All right, so let's see what we're going to be exploring for this week. Dun, 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 dun. All right, y'all. Let's see about it. Ooh, I'm all about this. Pleasure. Yes. Do something just for fun. Like, we're going to talk about that before I even read the rest of this card. Y'all, we spend so much of our time doing busy productivity. It doesn't count unless it's supposed to be about the next thing, or it's contributing to your work or your job or whatever it is. That to just have fun and just have some pleasure in your life is somehow a waste of time. To hell with that. This picture is cracking me up because there are bubbles, y'all. Bubbles and little kittens just hitting at the bubbles. This woman is decked out, or person is decked out in the most ruffly of ruffliest dresses. She's like cocooned. I guess for this person, pleasure has to do with being enraptured or wrapped up with ruffles and kittens. Listen, pleasure is one of life's essential ingredients. Yeah, essential. I have been spending a lot of time here in St. Louis with my mom. And as I've been hanging out with her community in the memory care unit and getting to know the other people who live there, and also thinking about how they spend their time. Listen, I could really go on a rant here. Nursing homes have a lot of work to do. All of them need to up their game and need to remember that life's basic necessities are important. Food, water, shelter. But without pleasure, we're missing the point. And I actually went out and bought some bubbles. I was like, what can I do? What can I bring in? And I've been doing a variety of different things. But I was at the store and I saw these bubbles and I was like, why the hell not? You never are too old for bubbles. And so I bring them in and I start blowing bubbles, and you could have seen the looks on their faces. Oh my goodness, it was just the most beautiful thing. People all of a sudden kind of woke up out of their kind of dazed places or disengaged, bored, state of minds, and, started hitting at the bubbles and catching the bubbles, and how big of a bubble became a total game. And just this moment of pleasure. Pleasure is a broad experience. There is sexual pleasure. There is emotional pleasure. There is sensorial pleasure. Smells, tastes, sounds, textures. We can get pleasure from so many different things in our life. And yet, for those of us who have experienced sexual trauma, pleasure is often tied to so many negative connotations. And I get that, and that's real, and that's right. And a huge part of my own journey and a huge part of the work that I do with my clients every day is about reclaiming pleasure. For some people, it's the feeling of, for the very first time in their lives, starting to understand what brings them pleasure. What do I like? What do I not like? What turns me on? What turns me off? And again, that can be sexual, but that can also be food. What drink turns you on? What snack turns you off? You're like, nope, I don't like that. Not my jam, not my thing. So I know for many of you, there is this place that feels scared to open yourself to pleasure, to allow yourself to feel in this way. Maybe to be touched, to be approached in that way, to let yourself go in a way that really lets you dive in to a pool of pleasure. One of my favorite things that Amy Weitzman says about pleasure is that we are never giving pleasure to someone else. In partnerships and relationships with lovers, we are inviting a person to come support us in tapping into our own pool of pleasure. It's within you. And you don't need somebody outside of you to tap into your pool of pleasure, okay? Again, like you could do that with movement, you could do that with dance, you could do that with music, you could do that with art, you could do that with adventures, you could do that with food, you could do that with self-touch. There are so many ways. So I really hope that you will understand the essential element of pleasure in your life and how that helps you to thrive. Remember, self-care is doing whatever it is that helps you to thrive, okay? So go out and get you some pleasure this week, y'all. And as always, if there's anything I can do to support you in your journey, I'm here. Reach out. And until next time, take good care of you.